Now, before we get into today's video, I really gotta tell you, I just don't get the whole game backlog problem thing people often complain about on social media and elsewhere. Why do people buy so many games they'll not be able to play due to having a job, a second job, wife, kids, pets, and other time constraints? Wait until you have time to play games before you overburden yourselves. Seems silly to me that you're stacking games you can't play. Get them when you can play them. Simple. And maybe, just maybe, these games will be even cheaper for you to purchase when you do get around to them eventually. Anyway, let's get on with today's video. What is up, gamers, Twitter thugs, and social media reprobates? I'm Fox, you're watching PlayStation News Now, your source of news, rumor, reviews, and video game discussion. Follow us via Twitter, Fox at PlayStation News Now, as seen in the bottom right of your screen. Now, a big shout out to Mr. Kirk Ford and a very belated happy birthday to longtime subscriber, Mr. Chris Cobra. My bad, dude, you really have to remind me closer to the time. A lot of shit going on right now. So, in today's news, a whopping 43.5 million PlayStation 4 consoles have been shipped by Sony as of June 2016, with 60 million predicted by March 2017. Now, at this rate, PlayStation 4 will surpass PlayStation 3's 80+ million lifetime sales in half the time, and is still on track to surpass PlayStation 2 as the PlayStation 4 continues to outpace the PlayStation 2 on a month-by-month, year-by-year basis. Now, bear in mind, PlayStation 2 is currently the most successful console in video game history. So, Sony Corp just announced its financial results for the first quarter of fiscal year 2016, with all income numbers in the black, despite an overall decrease across the board year on year. As usual, PlayStation 4 played a key role in the quarter's performance. It was one of the segments that actually increased its performance year on year, offsetting negative results in other businesses, mostly due to increasing software sales. The console shipped 3.5 million units between April 1st and June 30th this year, bringing the total of shipments to 43.5 million units. That's 500,000 units higher than the first quarter shipments last year. The company also still predicts to sell 20 million PlayStation 4 units during the full fiscal year, bringing the total to 60 million. And in our final segment, so the PlayStation 4 Neo leaks continue, and I've probably covered PlayStation 4 Neo to death. But no sooner than drawing a line in the PlayStation 4 Neo rumors, along comes another major PlayStation 4 Neo leak. So Cyrus Black, a well-known insider on NeoGAF, has leaked a ton of interesting news and details about PlayStation 4 Neo, also known as PlayStation 4K. And according to the leaks, this PlayStation Neo information comes straight from a reliable developer source. So PlayStation Neo, or PlayStation 4K, or whatever you want to call it, the GPU is going to be twice as powerful as the standard PlayStation 4 and much faster. That much we really knew already, and the source did not exactly reveal how fast the GPU is going to be, but it was confirmed that it will be running at a higher clock speed while being much smaller than the original. And about the price, the source revealed that PlayStation Neo is currently priced at $399. However, there is a slight caveat that this might go up to $100 more. Yes, $499, because Sony is considering adding a better CPU, which would raise the price effectively. However, the source added that they have been guaranteed the price of PlayStation 4 Neo will not exceed $499. Furthermore, there will not be any trade-in programs for current PlayStation 4 owners at the time of PlayStation Neo launch, but this could change in the future. Now, according to specs, in a thread on NeoGAF, more leaks have revealed PlayStation Neo will offer 5.5 teraflops of performance, which is a lot closer to Xbox Scorpio's targeted spec. Of course, Neo is expected to sport a 4K Blu-ray player and will highly likely upscale games that are not natively 4K. Additionally, the PlayStation 4 Neo leakage has revealed that dev studios have already received PlayStation 4 Neo development kits and are making games that will directly target and take advantage of the higher Neo spec. Now, on the topic of performance upgrades for current games when played on PlayStation 4 Neo, the source made it clear that there will not be any out-of-the-box performance upgrades for current PlayStation 4 games, so you can forget about higher resolution, you can forget about 60 frames per second out of the box, because any performance benefits to the current and old PlayStation 4 games running on PlayStation 4 Neo will be dependent on a patch per game per developer basis. Apparently, and still a rumor, 2 Neo games already in development for PlayStation 4K have leaked. Surprisingly, one of them is Capcom's Deep Down, and I only laughed because many of us thought this game was actually dead. And the second title is really no surprise to me at all. It is God of War. Well, the reboot. They're not calling it 4, they're not calling it a reboot even, but God of War. Now obviously a ton of more games are in development for Neo, ready to take advantage of Neo, but those are the 2 that are far along their respective development cycles. And interestingly, Sony is currently testing 2 different PlayStation 4 Neo models. One of these 2, well, out of the 2, only one will be selected for consumers, so there won't be 2 variants, there will only be one. But the first PlayStation 4 Neo variant offers a 4.2 teraflop performance and has a Jaguar CPU and internally carries a price tag of $399. The second variant of PlayStation 4 Neo offers a 5.5 teraflop GPU performance and comes with a brand new CPU and carries a price tag of $499. Sony are planning on releasing PlayStation 4 Neo either end of 2016 or before March 2017. If Sony decides to go with the $499 variant of PlayStation 4 Neo, then it will be the first time in over 10 years that Sony will go with an external power supply. So Sony are debating which Neo system to go with, and on one hand you've got a 4.2 teraflop / Jaguar PlayStation 4 Neo for a reasonable $399, or the 5.5 TFLOP new faster GPU for $499, bringing it more in line with the Xbox Scorpio spec. Now apparently nothing Sony is doing is reactionary to Xbox Scorpio, which kind of ties in with previous videos I've made on PlayStation 4 Neo, and with both machines being tested from the beginning, Sony is currently, or by now has decided, with which of the 2 to go with. Don't ask me in the comments, I can't tell you. Personally, I feel like Sony should go with the $499 version for more GPU performance and much higher clock speeds. This way Sony are prepared for the long haul. No doubt this generation is going to be extended. It wouldn't surprise me if this gen lasted as long as the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3's life cycle. However, Sony would be wise not to introduce too many PlayStation 4 variants during the life cycle in order to prevent consumer confusion. So we've already got PlayStation VR coming this October, right? Then there's the rumored PlayStation 4 Slim, then there's PlayStation 4 Neo, and there's even whispers Sony could even be working on a new portable or handheld device that allows PlayStation 4 games to be transferred onto or played remotely on the device. One thing is for sure, there are some very interesting times ahead in the console world. So many options for all gamers' budgets. Watch this space. Which brings us to the end of another video. If you enjoyed the content, go ahead and hit the like button. And thanks to all who kindly share our videos, helping us reach more PlayStation fans and gamers in general. Couldn't do it without you. And of course, subscribe for more news, reviews, and always video game discussion. Unfortunately, due to having a JOB, a 2-year-old child, friends and social commitments, basically, I have a life outside of gaming. Well, because the life gets in the way, there was no Gamer Couch podcast Wednesday past. But tomorrow, yes Sunday, there will be. So stay tuned for more on that. And I'll leave you with, until next time, play games, not corporations. Thanks for watching, everybody.